You think you chose your partner because of their smile? Because of the way they laughed genuinely at something nobody else found funny? Because of how they made you feel when they came close to you? Maybe all of that is true. But something else was happening at the same time. Something your conscious mind had absolutely no access to. Something that began working the moment you got close enough to another person, before a single word was spoken. Before you decided anything at all. Your immune system was running a calculation. The result of that calculation had more influence over who you fell in love with than anything you consciously decided. This is not a metaphor. This is not a poetic way of describing attraction. This is a precise, measurable, biological process that has been shaping human relationships for hundreds of thousands of years. Almost nobody ever learns that it exists. The real question is what is actually happening inside you every single moment you feel drawn to another person. And once you understand it, you will never think about attraction the same way again. Many people believe attraction is simple. You see someone, you feel something inside, or you do not. And when someone asks you to explain it, you reach for the obvious answers. Their appearance, their confidence, it's the way they carry themselves, their sense of humor, the feeling of ease when you're around them. These things are real, and they genuinely matter. But these are the elements of attraction you consciously perceive, the part your thinking mind can see, name, and talk about. Underneath all of that, something else is running, something older. Something that does not speak in words, thoughts, or feelings you can easily name. Something that operates through an entirely different channel. Your immune system has a language of its own, and it has been using that language to communicate with other immune systems your entire life, through your skin, through the air around you, through something so invisible and so constant that most people go their entire lives without ever realizing it is happening. Inside every cell of your body, there is a set of instructions. These instructions are like nobody else's. They are yours alone, built from a combination of everything your ancestors survived, every threat their bodies learned to recognize, every defense they developed over thousands of generations. Deep inside this genetic information, there is a section that controls one of the most critical functions your immune system performs. Let us call it the body compatibility system. And its job is essentially this: teaching your immune system what belongs to your body and what does not. Think of it as your biological identity, your immune system's personal signature, the unique structure that tells your body what to protect and what to fight. Every person carries a different version of this signature, and the differences between these signatures matter enormously. Not just for your own health, but the health of any children you might one day have as well. Here is why. If two people with very similar immune system structures have children together, those children inherit a narrow immune profile. Their bodies can recognize and fight a limited range of threats. They are more vulnerable, less protected. But if two people with very different immune structures come together, something remarkable happens. Their children inherit a broader, richer immune structure. Their bodies can recognize far more threats. Their defenses cover a wider range. They're biologically stronger in a way that has a direct and measurable effect on their survival. Your body has known this for a very long time. It developed a system to act on it. That system runs through your nose. Not in an obvious way, not consciously, and not in a way you would ever notice, but constantly, quietly, and with extraordinary precision. Your body produces a personal chemical profile, a signature scent shaped directly by your immune system's genetic structure. This is not your perfume, is not your soap or your shampoo. This is something that comes from inside you, something no product can replicate or replace. A biological signal your body sends out every single moment of every single day. And that signal reaches other people's bodies too. In the 1990s, a researcher named Klaus Wedekind conducted a study that became one of the most discussed experiments in the science of human attraction. He asked a group of men to wear plain white cotton shirts for 2 consecutive days with no deodorant or any scented products. Then he asked a group of women to smell those shirts and rate which ones they found most appealing. The results were clear and consistent. Women were significantly more attracted to the scent of shirts worn by men whose immune system structures were most different from their own. Different. The greater the difference in their immune structures, the more appealing they found the scent. And they did not know why. They could not explain it. They simply knew that some shirts smelled better than others. Some smelled comfortable and appealing. Some smelled almost unpleasant in a way they could not name. Their immune systems were telling them something. and their conscious minds had no idea it was happening. This is where things get even more interesting. Because your body does not just detect these signals through smell alone, processes them through a part of your sensory system that operates almost entirely below the level of conscious awareness. Deep inside the nasal passages, there are receiving cells whose entire purpose is to detect chemical signals that carry no obvious scent. Signals you would never consciously register as a smell at all. Signals that reach a part of your brain directly connected to emotion, memory, and the systems that govern attraction and bonding. These signals bypass your thinking process almost entirely. By the time your conscious brain is involved, the evaluation has already happened. The calculation has already been run. Something inside you has already decided whether this person's biology is compatible with yours. What you experience consciously is simply the result of that calculation. A feeling of ease, sense that something is right, a pull toward a person you cannot quite explain and cannot quite shake. Or the opposite, a subtle unease, a sense that something is slightly off, a reason you cannot name for why a person who seems perfect simply does not feel right. Your immune system is not being unreasonable. It is doing its job with extraordinary precision, protecting not just you, but the children you might one day have. Now let us come to the part most people never think about. Modern life introduced something that was not present during the hundreds of thousands of years in which this system developed: hormonal birth control. Research has revealed something striking. Women who use hormonal contraceptive pills show a measurably different pattern in the immune signals they find attractive. Instead of being drawn toward genetic difference, they show a slight preference shift toward similarity. The biological reason for this is still being studied, but the current understanding points to something specific. Hormonal birth control methods alter certain signals in ways that may interfere with the body's natural evaluation process. This has both practical and deeply personal significance. Some researchers have suggested that couples who met while one partner is using hormonal birth control sometimes experience a shift in their attraction after stopping. Not in every case, not dramatically, but enough to have become a recognized pattern in the research. And this does not mean every relationship built under these circumstances is somehow based on false chemistry. Attraction is far more complex than a single biological signal, but it does show that the system is sensitive, that the conditions under which you first encounter another person's biological signature can genuinely influence what you pick up and what you miss. Your immune system needs clean information to do its job properly. And anything that alters the signals it sends or receives changes the calculations it is able to run. There is one more dimension to this that almost nobody talks about. This system does not just affect who you are drawn to, it also affects how long that attraction lasts. Research tracking couples over years has found a consistent pattern. Couples with significantly different immune systems report higher levels of relationship satisfaction over time. They describe their physical connection as more lasting. They report feeling more genuinely drawn to each other, even after the initial chemistry of a new relationship has settled. Couples with more similar immune systems show a different pattern. The initial attraction can be just as strong, but over time something begins to shift. The chemistry that felt so powerful at the beginning gradually fades in a way that feels different from the natural deepening of a long relationship. Something that was there stops being there. Neither person can fully explain why. Your body was looking for a specific kind of difference, and when it does not find that difference, the system that created the attraction in the first place eventually recognizes the mismatch and responds accordingly. This is not a comfortable idea. It raises questions most people would rather not ask about relationships they are already in. But understanding the biological reality of attraction does not diminish what you feel for another person. It adds a layer to it. It reveals that what you experience as chemistry, as connection, as the inexplicable feeling that someone is right for you, is not random, it is not luck, it is not fate. It is your body doing something extraordinary on your behalf. Running a calculation that took hundreds of thousands of years to develop, searching for a specific biological match that will give the next generation the best possible chance. Operating through channels so subtle and so ancient that your conscious mind will never fully grasp what your immune system already knows. The next time you feel drawn to someone and cannot explain why or feel nothing towards someone you expected to feel something for, You now know what is actually happening. Your immune system already ran the calculations. It already checked the signatures. It already evaluated the compatibility. It already sent its recommendation upward through channels your thinking mind has no direct access to. What you feel is the result of that process, not a random spark, not chemistry you happen to stumble into. A precise, ancient, biological signal from a system that has been doing this work far longer than human beings have had words for love. Your body always knew. It knew before you did. It knew everything about that person before a single thought about them had formed in your mind. And every time you have ever felt that pull toward another person, that feeling that something is right, even though you cannot say exactly why, your immune system was doing something extraordinary. It was trying to build the strongest possible future. One signal at a time. Take care of yourself. Please do not forget to like the video and subscribe.